Hello, you delightful beings out there, and welcome back to the stream. I am Razim, currently a Squirrel the Drackle, and, or Dragon, Lucario, whatever you may wish to call me, you know. Yeah, we're doing some Scar Dev tonight. Meanwhile, we've got Whiskers in the bottom left there doing wonderful art, and in the upper left, by popular demand, ducks. Welcome to this ADHD stream. Let's get started.
Duke.
Oh, now in the upper left we've got Marten. The Marten is enjoying some peaches and cream. Nom 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 nom. Yum 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 yum. Yum yum. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Nom 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 nom. Num num. Yes, and ducks. What's wrong with that, Tony Tins? Ooh, we got a new duck. By the way, if anybody would like to name a duck, $5 tip minimum. Or you can play the name a thing card. And, well, as we can see by Ido here, it does carry over from one save to the next.
At least Ido Duck has a company now.
They'll have plenty of company before long.
Oh yeah, I've seen this game fill up the pool with like just a ton of ducks.
I am very curious.
Although it looks like that white duck is slowly going to go towards the slide of doom.
Wait. This is here?
No, in the pool.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that, but that was not here before. Is this actually operational? I guess so.
Oh, we'll find out.
Oh,
when
wait!
The duck gets stuck.
The duck's going down!
Yep, there goes polar bear duck.
I could do no other. Wostein_oil wants the duck to be named Wostein.
Enough floating, let's skate. Ah. Quacking the ice, huh?
Oh, bank shot to the cable car.
Yeah! What's gonna happen with the duck now? What is
He's been
this?
abducted.
What is happening here?
Shenanigans.
Abductions.
Oh no, Whiskers. What are you doodling now? And yeah, Whiskers is awesome as is. Though apparently Whiskers has decided he likes the idea of Durgan.
Very fair.
Oh, I mean, it's a new monster, a fire-breathing Durgan. You know, makes their own tacos. Part-time job, runs a taco stand for adventurers. The Zamboni cleaning the ice. Oh, it's a Robo's Zamboni.
Yes, yes it is. A noodle Whiskers, yes. Alright, so, whoa, you wanted, what exactly?
Seda.
Oh, you
Hello,
just wanted to
Seda
name
Potato.
one. You. Okay. Hi, Seda! Quack. Well, since it's the only new duck here, there you go, Woke.
Oh, is me, the rubber duck.
Oh my god, Whiskers, that is adorable.
Runs a taco stand.
Absolutely not, burrito.
Ah, yes, caffeine, the coin toss of what effect it's going to have on me today. Consume. And there goes my wakefulness.
Yeah, I drink it during the day. It keeps me awake, but towards the night, it's the sleep aid.
Lucky at least it's predictable for you. Mine is just a coin toss.
Whiskers, is that supposed to be me?
I could do no other.
Riddy wants the duck to be named Seda.
I believe we do have a new duck.
Courtesy of Ryzen.
And of course, it's the rainbow duck.
Rainbows.
That is way too perfect. Actually, Woe needs to be renamed because it was done with card. When done with card, it sometimes means you will be, your name might be taken by somebody that tips.
Acknowledged. No problem.
What are we waiting for, Seda? It's a little late. I mean, you're already, you know, duckified.
Just be cute and rainbow, Seda.
I could do no other.
Burrito Thenoodle Dragon wants the duck to be named Avi.
Oh, there's another duck here. Uh-oh. Funicular. Up we go again? Well, something's happening with your ducks. Oh, okay. So after a while, I guess they just go... Is that a plane? Oh, that is a plane.
Yes.
Oh.
Airdrop ready.
I like
go.
it. Of course, Woe was airdropped. So, at the
Whoa,
beginning
whoa.
of June, we stopped seeing progress on the scar system. What happened? Ducks.
Duck, 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 duck.
Alright, Seda, should I give Abby the Band-Aid duck, or... I guess this egg duck? Also, some ducks may be eventually renamed because apparently they have special names to them. Or if they are named certain things, certain secrets get unlocked of some kind. And I do want to see those at some point.
Fair, fair.
I will give Avi the egg duck. Actually, I know exactly what duck to give to Avi. We don't see it on this map yet. But... where is it? Or do collections from multiplayer not count? I don't think that collections from... wait, no, because I got this one on the... so where is the propeller duck?
Being propelled to another dimension.
Ah, there it is. Avi. Because this one can actually fly. And takes off and escapes on occasion.
Yes, cape.
So anyways, I started dev work.
Somewhere.
Kind of. Yes, I was just about to do that. Right.
Remember, he's getting paid by the something.
Wait, I'm getting paid for this?
I love physics.
I mean, with
Well,
the correct
sometime,
planning
eventually.
and such.
I guess that is kind of the plan eventually, is that I get paid, but...
Until then, it remains in the realm of the hypothetical.
I mean, even at that point, it's gonna be mostly a, oh, hey!
Oh, say
new
just
duck.
take a ride.
Axe murderer!
And a hockey puck.
Yes, apparently the hockey puck is potentially going to be going for a trip up top.
Hey, Seda, you're in a funicular with an axe murderer. I'm sure the ride will be fine when the doors close.
Oh, that thing very much tries to scrape off all the ducks from the...
All three of you get to go for a ride now.
You mean they are in there with me? Yes, Seda. Yes.
Someone's been watching a certain movie.
Oh, bone duck.
I just think we've got all week technically to plot for your movies for Saturday. Themes, or age restricted, or furry, or...
I am thinking it'll be Jurassic World and whatever the third one of the Jurassic World series is. Just because we watched Fallen Kingdom last night, so...
So Jurassic World 2, Jurassic 3, The Search for More Money, Jurassic 4, In Before the Plot Dies.
Yes. There! I have written one sentence!
Oh, that's his paycheck.
I wish.
What it? I was about to say, what is him? Is he a CEO?
I must be doing the CEO thing really bad, because apparently most of them get paid, you know, 7 figures and don't do a single goddamn thing. Oh crap, are we past the 15? We are barely past the 15 mark! 15 minutes, 30 seconds! Cool!
almost had to pay yourself $5. That would have been great. I'm down $5. Someone help me. I mean, how will that look on your taxes? Evil me made good me pay $5 because I said bad word. Looks like that bowl of ramen tonight will be a healthy dinner.
It's at least a dinner, I suppose.
Yeah, you can always crack an egg in it.
I mean, that is what Rex has been doing for me. We got the instant ramen, and he's been putting he has been putting stuff into the ramen. It's actually been really nice. There are eggs into the ramen, and sometimes he cuts up a sausage. He's a very good boy. I am blessed.
That means you're taking him for walkies tonight?
No, he went for walkies with Holo.
Yes, but it's like second breakfast. What's wrong with second walkies?
Burrito, ducklings eat each other when they are bored. I think me taking a little, eating some eggs is fine.
Natural habitats.
Nom nom nom. Science. Nom nom nom.
Nom 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 nom. Well, when I get instant ramen, it's the cup of noodles variety. You know, add water, throw it in the microwave. Actually, Burrito, they've updated how they do it, and now they're more of a paper-ish cup that is meant for microwaving. But the old styrofoam ones, I've got a water machine that I would put hot water into. I mean, it may be a lot of sodium, but trust me, guys, I drink plenty of water. Oh, I hope I didn't keep you up too late last night, Raijin. It's okay to take care of yourself.
That's right in. Have squishy hugs. And squishy hugs for Seda too, dear.
I heard you toss in that deer. Okay, fair enough, Raijin. Still, make sure you take care of yourself.
Hello.
Hello, Seda. How are you?
I'm doing better.
Good. Also, I love the fact that
I'm a puppy.
of all the ducks for you to get, it was the rainbow one.
Okay, the timing on that voice clip is perfect.
We need to give Seda some extra squishy hugs.
Wait.
Oh, I want my third monitor back. Seda's already been a duck. Seda has been duckified.
Twice.
Twice?
Well, you gave me a duck in the game, and you also duckified Dart.
Oh, that's what you mean, yes.
Yeah, but it's not all it's quacked up to be.
Exactly. It's quite ducked up, actually.
Congratulations. You no longer need the teacup.
But the teacup is so warm and cozy.
I
You sound
see.
a little sleepy.
So
God, I still love that art, by the way.
don't worry. There is a non-zero chance that I may decide to edit it with a little bit of time. After all, a Sega duck floating in tea sounds adorable.
Oh god. God, I need to go to a tea shop now. You know, I'm gonna use this downtime to go to a tea shop.
What downtime?
The campaign downtime. I'm gonna go to a tea shop.
Oh! My first thought was, wait, did I miss something? Are we putting it on hiatus again? What?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you knew. My condolences.
Zesty! Hello?
Zesty!
At least another 2 hours, Zest.
Not a squish panda. Panda is squish.
Actually, about 2 hours, 20 minutes, roughly.
Yeah, we've gotten 3 whole sentences done.
Technically only 2. Oh, God.
Look, you're ducking things up, man. Like,
I know. Wait, why am I hearing... What? What? Oh, okay. Apparently there was a woodpecker. For a second there I was like, is that gunfire? Why is there gunfire in the duck game?
Look, it's,
Something.
you don't realize what you've gotten yourself into. You toss yourself right in the middle between the, you know, woodpecker and the duck, you know, warfare.
Oh. Makes sense, yes. Oh boy!
Hold the line. This hammer shall not fall.
Okay, Raija, deal.
Stream with 130 views.
Well, hello there, Zest! And everybody else?
Productivity
No
is
pressure
zero.
here. No pressure.
Of all the things, yeah, you know. Hello there, everybody from Zesty's stream. Zesty, would you like a random clip from your channel brought up, or just a regular shout out? Also, that music got really loud. Let me turn that down a bit. Hello there, Koyo Leo. Hello, Yonkage. Hello, Ultimate Hyrio. Hello, Galabula. Hello, Pythos. Welcome in, everybody. Weagle. Oh, one of them got stuck to the arm.
Our Weagle.
But yeah, welcome in, everybody. I am Razim, currently a squirrel, my Dragon Lucario character. And we are... Well, this is ADHD the stream. That's the only way I can put it. I've got some wonderful beans right here that are right in front of me. You know, they're here. I'll give them all pets. There we go.
Bites your finger.
Ow! Mean.
You do not head pet without consent.
Okay, fair. May I pet?
Yes, you may.
There we go. Pet.
Consent is important, everyone.
But yeah. We are... So... We do a lot of things here. A lot of tabletop games, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, several Pokemon tabletop RPGs, a Digimon tabletop. We've got a duck that's on the bottom of the pond now. Yep, there they are. Like I said, ADHD the stream. But yeah, we do a lot of different things, though. Right now, we're actually working on, up there, we're working on the SCAR system, which is what we use to play the Pokemon and Digimon games. Also, this water is filthy. They really need to put better chlorine in there or something. There are so many little things floating around in there. But they look like they're swimming, so I'm pretty sure it's something that needs killed. Anyways... Again, ADHD. Up there in the upper left, you guys can see Duck Game. Plastic Duck Simulator, I think is the actual name. It's mostly there for something better to look at other than, you know, me just typing stuff out. And then over here on the left-hand side, the bottom left, we've got the wonderful Wicked Whiskers doing some art. And, apparently a very big dragon compared to a little squirrel. At least I think that's squirrel that he drew. Whiskers apparently has possessed a dragon.
Assassinating.
I do not have a command for any of my characters. What kind of command would I have?
Yes. Nice to see you, Koi. And you can finally hear my voice.
Yeah, One thing that I tend to focus on with the channel here is just hanging out. Tonight, so far, we've done some Guild Wars 2, as well as The Tenants. Fun time. And I do lots of other games as well throughout the week. I stream basically every day. But we got that little emphasis on friends hanging out. I will be taking Tuesday off.
Good.
Maybe.
Don't you ducking dare.
Also, what happens Tuesday? Oh, that's right. The maid comes in.
The maid? Huh?
But you don't have a maid?
No. I have pets. They go do the cleaning.
That's close enough.
But yeah, here in the voice chat right now, we've got Seda BDA. I'm sure most of you know him already. He streams, a very nice, lovely streamer. Very calm, chill, wonderful, good vibes there. Go check him out if you don't know him.
We made half a racetrack today.
Racetrack for what?
Racetrack.
Yeah, but for what?
Oh, for absolutely no reason.
Ah. Okay, what
I was
game?
playing Satisfactory.
Ah.
You know, the mostly single-player factory building game. I had a half-constructed racetrack. I was making some hypertube cannons. My chat noticed it, and then they voted for me to continue working on it, so I started working more on it.
Fair enough. But yeah, over here we've got Pikesh, the Burr. Clearly a lot of you know him. And then over on this side we got Wostein, Agent of Chaos, who also streams.
From time to time.
From time to time. Go check them all out. And again, thank you so much for that raid, Zesty. I really appreciate it. What was that noise? Oh!
There's a duck sneaking up behind you.
There is a hot air balloon. Click.
Oh, wound. Are you sure that's not a certain rubber inflatable duck that's just been puffed up too much?
Probably not. No.
Oh,
Totally not.
it could be said anyway, Colio. I mean, it's just a nickname. I mean, Pakash, Pack Bear, Noof.
I mean, heck, for the longest time I've ever saying Pack today.
Yeah, that works too.
Zest, did you want a regular shout out or a clip? By the way. Pakashamade? Pakasha maid. Ah, so Pakish is the maid. Got it.
Oh, I do all the cooking and cleaning, yeah.
I'm sure Rex wouldn't mind the day off. He will never answer that question, but okay, I guess I will give regular shout out.
Well, the answer's in a state of flux, so you can never give any shout out.
Oh no, I'm giving a shout out.
But how are you supposed to know if you truly wanted a regular shout out or a clip shout out?
I do not, but I will give a shout out no matter what.
Yes. Zesty is a squishable panda. Squish him all.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Burrito Thenogle Dragon has turned Parkesper into a ducklet.
Rank up.
They can
Hold
only
the
talk
line.
like that Pokemon for 2
This hamlet
minutes.
shall not fall.
Ducky ducklet,
Hemlock High
ducky
narrated
duck.
my stream with 6
Ducky
viewers.
ducklet, duck duck duck.
That's another thing you'll see a lot of here. TF. Hello there, Hemlock Hyena. Welcome in. How was your stream? Would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up? I hope you had a great stream, and Zest, the same goes for you as well. Oh, Woodpecker's back. Oh, is that Woodpecker going to drop that big block of ice in here?
Duck, 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 let, duck, 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 duck.
Hey, it did knock it down. Wait, is there a duck inside of that?
Ducklet?
There
Exception.
is a duck.
The peace offering to end the Great War.
The duck has been freed. Also, sorry, welcome to ADHD the stream. Hello there, Glitch. Hello, Longboy. Longboy, welcome especially. You know, I am very familiar with being long. I am normally a Marten. But yeah. Let's go and get that shout out. You know what? Here, you can have a clip.
That's not a door. Let's go this way. Stay upstairs. Let's go up here.
I don't want to go in the dark.
Okay. Oh god! Oh god, nothing. Never mind. It was nothing. It was just the
Oh boy.
It was just the shadow. Oh my god.
Duck, duck, duck.
Restore
Sorry, Hemlock. Like I said, it is a random clip. I have many characters that I swap between. Many different avatars and stuff. So, yeah, you'll see many different characters on here.
Then you get characters like me, just old and round.
And you know, you may be a leggy, but long is still long. Woo! New duck!
Into the duckness.
I'm curious if this ice is gonna break or if it's gonna melt or something. And now I am being abducted. Ah!
Commence the probing.
But yeah, we do lots of stuff. We've got Wicked Whiskers there in the bottom left working on some art. If any of you would like to be duckified, Whiskers is open for those. They're $30. Message me on Discord if you're interested. Hey, we got a lot of little mini ducks.
What you mean, duck cord?
No, mini ducks.
Yeah, but you said Discord. It should be duck cord.
They are mini ducks.
A wise decision.
Cadbury mini eggs.
Oh, thank you for that follow, Glitch. Like I said, this is ADHD the stream. I'm supposed to be working on the SCAR system, which is our tabletop RPG system that we've been developing for a while now. And, well, ducks.
Yes, it's a duck in progress.
It makes your ADHD happy. We have many ADHD. You'll set your expectations at 5 sentences. I will get more written. I will get more written.
I sentence you to 5 sentences.
Joke.
And a cup of ramen.
I swear I'll get work done. Okay, let's work.
We offer no guarantees.
Productivity, what's that?
One of those funny words.
All right.
And that duck has drowned.
Oh no, it just sank immediately upon arrival. It is a rock
Is that
duck.
supposed to make the duck any better?
It is a rock duck.
At least
Oh,
it's
so
not a
it's
metal duck.
So he's just taking it for granted at the bottom of the pool.
Ugh. Oh yes, Koyo. Whiskers is amazing. Whiskers is awesome and amazing and appreciated and delightful.
Is immune to bad puns, unlike Zim, of course. All those puns just help with the ADHD.
Not always, Koyo. So Wicked Whiskers, we have Raijin that joins here and there. Then there's also Conrad, my 3D artist who did the model I'm using right now. He comes and joins from time to time. Mirai hasn't been on in a long while, same as Hex, but those are two other artists that come and join every now and then. Hello there, Koma. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. The Woe Duck is a spy? No, I'm sure the Woe Duck is fine. But Koyo, you can always tell when it's Whiskers because he's got the little ghosty thing there on the right side. I manage for several artists, you know, handle their queue and commission stuff and all that. And so they take care of the art, I take care of everything else. And they come and hang out and join me and do awesome work. And yeah, it works out well for both of us. At least I think it works out well for Whiskers. He says it does. Okay, gotta do some work. I think that's Whiskers messaging me to reassure me. He just says ye.
Well, I guess that means 5 more sentences.
Okay. Preventative healing.
Oh, now it's 6 sentences.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
7 sentences.
I'm working already! Ugh!
Well, it's gonna be 9.
Well, he's doing 9 sentences. That means I'm gonna have to bring him a slice of cake.
A wise choice for leader.
Burrito Thenoodle Dragon has purchased 1 avatars and Martin's packs.
Burrito, thank you for that purchase. I am glad, Raijin.
Extra hugs for Wicked Whiskers and Raijin. And a yar for Coily Oily Oily Ol.
The trait allows you to change the healing you perform with your move to being preventative instead of restorative.
Hey, look at those happy yars.
Quack. Dook. A dook.
It's a snoof.
I could do no other.
Burrito Thenoodle Dragon wants that stone duck to be named Wostein.
But I already have a Wostein.
Double woe.
But I already have a woe.
I can duplicate.
Well, you could be whoa whoa. Little whoa whoa.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay, which one is this? I think it's this one.
Yep. Woe was me, the petrified duck.
Okay, yeah, that is the one.
Hanging out at the bottom of the pool, chillaxing.
Oh, there's a book here. Okay, yeah, the developers are definitely furry. I mean, look at that high quality furry art on the wall there.
Be one of their avatars. Like suddenly everyone will be looking on a VR chat and going, it's like, hey, wait, it's you!
Hello, Derpy.
Burrito Thenoodle Dragon wants everyone to hydrate.
Hydrate time. Yay.
Fine. I just freaking did, but fine, I will do it again. By the way, everybody, for those that are interested, if you would like one of the ducks named a certain way, you can name them using one of the Name a Thing cards available through Streamloots, or you can tip at least $5 to the channel. And again, another reminder, if you would like a duck icon, Seda, could you maybe demonstrate, please? See? Like that one.
Duck me.
If you would like one of those from Whiskers, they are $30 each. Or $33 with taxes and fees. And yeah, just message me on Discord if you would like one from Whiskers. Thank you, Seda.
You're welcome.
Alright, true healing.
Duck, say duck. I hope everyone's enjoying their quiet evening. You know, if anyone's up here in Canada land, it is oddly cold and comfortable.
Canada, eh?
Canada.
Canada. Canada. No worries, Koyo. I am a late streamer, so, you know. By all means, I hope you rest well.
Sleep well, koi koi. Yar well.
Yep.
Aw, thank you kindly, koi. Sweet yar.
I can hear Rex having a very good time in his kennel. As he's just back there screaming at something. Is he streaming again?
Unknown.
Well, I mean, I was asking for somebody to go check. Ah, he is. Thank you, Secret Row. So then I suppose if I go over there and harass him, it'll be audible on stream. Ho ho ho. Oh, the duckies. We have many much ducks. They are good ducks. Alright, another trait done. We are getting so many ducks. But we need more ducks! Equipment interaction.
Well, while my computer tries to die, I will take a break. I will be back in a bit, possibly getting ready for bed.
Oh,
okay.
Well.
Bye!
Have a good one.
What the? That is a very big duck. Apparently there is a giant woolly mammoth duck under the ice in this pool.
It's just chilling.
That's a very big duck! I want to break the ice and see if it will join the rest of the ducks on floating on the water.
See, some people with genetics, their duck is bigger is all.
Oh.
Soon, Tyrannosaurus duck will rise from the icy depths.
No, that's definitely a woolly mammoth.
We can call it Duck Thulu.
I am certain there is a Duck Thulu, but this is not the Duck Thulu we are thinking of.
Duck Thulu you want is in another castle.
This little robotic cleaner just wiping off everybody from the... Oh! I guess this thing's got a limit on how many it'll hold before it just takes off. Interesting. Because I know before when it was just one on there, it took forever to take off. It's not about the size of the duck, but how you use it. Really?
Are they wrong?
No, I suppose they're not.
After all, high-density stone duck makes for an excellent projectile. And I'm still the same size.
Alright, we got all of the general move traits finished. Okay, sure. On to the next section, which is this header. No indentation. Power move traits. Say it cute.
Yeep.
Also need to.
I'm starting to get a little sleepy, so I think I will log out now.
Oh, alright. I hope you sleep well. Thanks for hanging out today, Pikesh.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always nice to be here. Have a good night, everyone else.
Stop trying to highlight the freaking table! Fine, we'll start from up here instead. Okay, yeah, sleep well. Sorry. Fighting with Google Docs. Okay, power move traits. Alright, I'm gonna pause the music, or mute the music in game, because it is a little too peaceful. I want some lo-fi.
Are you relaxed? Are you feeling relaxed, Zim? Are you feeling relaxed like, you know, a rubber ducky in the lazy river? Feeling relaxed?
Yes. Quack. Very relaxed. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do for this next section is basically copy the table a bit. So that way I can just get these in here and be able to work on them without needing to also reference the table over and over. Hello, other Asher. You missed the main Asher. He was out for a little bit earlier. You can't find the fixtures? What fixtures are you looking for? Yeah, I definitely think going this route is going to work out much better for me. Oh, shelf brackets. Yes, yes, of course, I see. Yes. I don't get it. Spooky! How did you wind up there? Oh no. I think we're gonna lose Spooky. Spooky's gonna be gone. Oh, actually, I think this might have soft-locked the game a bit. Because the little gondola thing isn't going up. Oh. So what are you gonna need to do about that, Raijin? God. You're gonna literally be able to turn one of your moves into a sniper if you get this long range and you're high level.
Oh, was that to me? Sorry, I just sat back down.
No, it was just an idle comment, but I was saying you're gonna be able to seriously do some you'll be able to turn one of your moves into a sniper with long range, 80 feet plus 20 per 5 attributes. You know, you get
I hope you do realize how potentially broken you're making this move creation system.
Yes. However, it does have its balances to it. And I guess it wouldn't actually be that much of a sniper. I mean, it only goes up to a little under 300 feet. I thought it was higher than that, but no.
But remember, you can also purchase guaranteed hit to bypass accuracy.
Yes. However, to actually be able to afford all that is another question. And also, every move does need to be approved by the storyteller. Granted, the storyteller doesn't have to sit there and be like, okay, let's look over this, okay, and look over that, and okay. They can just be like, in the moment, be like, yeah, that one's not good. Huh. I guess I have not officially added the, that, duck to my list of ducks. I think. Right? No, I think this one might actually be official now. Okay, yeah, I guess that one is officially part of my collection now. Cool. But yes, there are some that are going to be a little broken, and there is the potential for things to be broken. But there are also limitations on what you can do with the move. Like, yes, you can purchase for it to be able to hit something from about 300 feet away and bypass accuracy. However, how much are you going to have left over for the experience cap for damage on that?
I mean, who needs damage when I can guarantee blind you with a mud spit?
Touché?
Plus with a dynamic move.
Yeah. I mean, do you have constructive alternatives on this? For balancing?
I mean, nothing that I'd want to say without playtesting.
Yeah.
And I actually mentioned a little bit this to Taldarius when we had a one-on-one conversation last week, but I think probably at this stage I'd be more interested in just like getting the layout of like the move creation a bit more beginner friendly. Like you know, on the chart there were like sections for like, you know, the statuses and stuff like that. You know, I had to dig a little bit to find this stuff for ranged. I think what go on.
Have you actually looked at the chapter on move creation and such here?
Not that one, since I think that's relatively new to me. I was actually looking at the spreadsheet that was like with all the move creation proposals.
Yeah, that one was I will definitely agree. That one was not the greatest layout. But if you go to page 64...
I'm on it right now because I'm actually just following along with the dog.
Okay. As you can see on the table, I did try to separate things out into coherent categories. So that way, you know, you got all of your power and healing in one area, all of the range stuff, as well as AoE and additional targets, because I consider those close enough to being, you know, range. Instead of directly how far, it's more how wide, but still range. I've combined all those into a category and so on. The only problem right now is the fact that, you know, the range move traits header is on the prior page versus where the actual stuff under it is. But not much I could do on that right now. Because I want to wait to adjust the actual that for once the book's actually complete.
Yeah, and the other thing that I will kind of reiterate feedback on is, even though it might seem a little bit, you know, intuitive, at least for you guys, for something like ranged move traits, I think putting the default in there of what you get when you don't spend any XP would be really helpful. Because like, I'm assuming by the default is you're doing a melee attack.
Yes. Did I actually put that in? That's a great question.
At least it's not in the table, which I feel like the more places the default stuff's in, the better. Because I had to ask, like, hey, well, what's the default damage? What's the default accuracy? If those things are in like 2 or 3 places for, like, in the table, in the document, etc., that would help ease, individual move creation.
The only place I could think of to put that on the table would be, like, splitting up the cell for, like, the range move traits and the power move traits, and then in the column where brief description is, I'm thinking I could put it in there. Would that work?
Well, wherever you put it is...
1 second, I've got a raptor here giving me a hug. Hello there.
Oh, just want to hug you.
Okay. I'll be right back. Put a pin in that, please.
I don't have any tea with me right now, but I did have some tea earlier. It was quite lovely. It was a blueberry green tea with a generous addition of honey. And I poured it in my nice little wolf mug that I got from the Smithsonian Zoo back in like 2017, and I love it because it just is like a nice little bluish gray mug with a little howling wolf icon on it. And I will cry if I break this. Oh, and that's fair, like, everyone has different tea preferences. Like, for me, like, I am a big fan of the strong aromatic notes to a tea. So, if you add, like, a bunch of dried fruits into a tea, it's definitely something I will drink every day. But, my sister, just smelled the bag and was like, oh god, this smells like all the worst parts of, like, the Body Shop or Lush. Meanwhile, like, I have a try tea that to me basically smells like barnyard hay, and it's a nice pleasant tea. Like, everyone's tea has different tea preferences, and it's like, you find what works for you and you go for it. Tea is tea.
Okay, I am back. So yeah, what do you think about that, putting the default there? Because that's the only place that I can think of where it would make sense to put it. Did I lose Seda?
Like under the power, like under the power move traits?
It would be above this brief description. Like it would go here. I know you can't see it, but like right
I
above.
can see your cursor.
Oh, okay. It would be right above the brief description. That would be where it says, yeah, you're 0 power, 0 heal, etc. And then the default for range would be that you are by default doing melee.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a good spot, and probably as you like continue editing and refining the document, you might find like another place, like in like maybe the wording of the document, etc., to put it in, because I think the biggest barrier for me when I was like going through the move creation process last week was like, okay, well, what do I just have by default? What's my default accuracy? What's my default power?
Default is nothing. Which I did dive into. I swear I did. But either way, I could definitely see, even if I did go into it with the big text blurb before the table, I can definitely see how it'd be useful to have it in the table.
Oh yeah, like like the, you have like the text version just to describe like what the baseline is, and maybe even why it is that way, but the table quick reference, and defaulting or having a quick reference to what the default is. So if I'm just doing like okay, I just want to do a status move, or hey, I just want to do a basic strike in my type. Because like maybe I want to like just do hey, I just want to have a bit of coverage, so I'm gonna just do I'm gonna learn like a a fairy type move that I'll start adding to over time, but I just want to put like 10 XP in it.
Yeah. 10 XP, you have a fairy type move that's, well, provided you are fairy or have the fairy affinity. Because there is increased cost if you, which I know I went into, for, if you try to take the move outside of your type. But either way, 10 XP, you could get 2 power, and that's all that move is. But yeah, I think that might be the best place that we can put it, is above the brief description header.
Yeah,
now I'm
no,
just
I think
gonna
that
have to figure out. I guess for accuracy, I can at least put it in the box. There. Now, how do I split up a cell? Is it in here?
Mitosis.
Thanks. Thank you. The Rex has brought me foods. I am grateful and appeased. have working. Wait, hot tub? I just got an achievement for hot tub. Oh! So that's what this thing is. I'm guessing the party duck here must have lit this thing with its sparkler. Nice, Raijin. But yeah, work in progress piece there, Seda.
That's all very nice.
Yee. So this duck's finally being thought out. Cool. Aha! I have figured out how to unmerge cells. How does that look, Seda? I don't know if I should do different capitalization or something.
That seems good for now, but I'm gonna actually just read through a little bit of the document because I might have a more refinement to my question.
Okay. Thank God for undo. Whiskers said, messaged me saying he was gonna have a short internet blip for a moment. He said he'll be back. Okay, food consumed. Back to work. Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah, so I feel like where I'm at this stage is that I need a better explanation of what move power is.
Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of just, you start with 0 power and power +1, but what does power +1 mean in terms of a move?
Well, I mean, that's something that's about to be worked on here in a bit.
Because unfortunately, as much as I want to stay around, I do have to head to bed shortly, but the...
Well, in that case, I could go ahead and explain. I thought you were saying that that's what you wanted to see in the document as a whole. And
I mean, I do want to see that in the document as a whole, but really just boils down to, like, answering the question, okay, how many dice do I roll for my accuracy? How many dice do I roll for my damage? And right now, especially for the damage, I have no clue how much dice I'm supposed to be rolling.
So, damage is... So, power is your potential for damage. It's how many dice you're going to be rolling. I will look over the combat section to make sure I explained it there. But, power is your potential for damage. It is half of the attribute associated with the move. So, body if physical, mind if special. So, half of the attribute plus the skill that you rolled with it, so brawl or ranged, and then plus the power of the move.
So if I heard that right again, half of the attribute of the move, so maybe like mind, and then plus a skill, like ranged or something.
Yes.
Plus the power.
Yes.
So let's just say hypothetically I have 3 mind, 3 range, and 2 power in this move. 2 dice on the mind because it's rounded up, plus 3 for the range, so we're at 5 dice, and then plus 2 move power, so we're at 7 dice.
Yes.
Alright. That's what I actually want to see on, like, the power move table. Like, default being the half attribute plus skill. Just so I know, if, like, okay, if I'm writing down on my quick move reference sheet, I don't want to, have plus move 2 power. I just want to put, 7d10 plus 2, because if I have plus 2 guaranteed damage. That makes sense.
I don't know if the table is the right place to put it. I'm trying my best to think about logical places for putting these things. Hey, Spooky. Also, hi, Chrysops. It doesn't feel right to me to have that particular information on the move trait table.
Though, actually, could you just point me to the document where that information is?
That information should be in Chapter 6. Actions and Combat. Why are you not scrolling? There you are. I'm browsing through for it myself. Right, should be this area. Power check, page 55.
I'm on that. I'm reading that now. Yeah, and I see at the very bottom left corner of page 55 there it says you take the power of the move or weapon or whatever you're using and add the skill and half the attribute score associated with that attack.
Yes. I can definitely highlight that. That should be highlighted.
Yeah, and I think it might be worth to think about maybe having that in like a little subset or something like that, because to have that kind of very key information kind of like sandwiched in between a paragraph that's getting split over 2 columns can be easily missed, which is, at least from my logic of move building, I'd probably want to see that around where the power is as well. But like I think like that explanation that there is great. But if I just need a quick reminder of, okay, it's my attribute for its skill, and that's going to be potentially different for each move. Just to have that small little reminder that, yeah, no, it's half attribute plus skill plus the move power for my dice. So at least that's how I think about when it comes to move creation.
I still don't think it's something that would fit right on the table itself, but I can put that information into the... So part of why I don't... okay, let me go back to what I was saying. In the move trade explanation section, before my ADHD is like, off to the subject B. I can put it in there.
Which page you on your cursor didn't quite...
Page 66, so... I was thinking in this little spot here. On page 67.
Yeah, no, I think that,
I can put that in there. But the other thing that I was going to jump to is part of why I'm trying to avoid explaining the same thing multiple times in the document is, one, less for them to read. Like, yeah, that's key information, but having it explained, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times is a little redundant. But also, it helps to prevent me from doing the thing that Pokeroll did, where it had 5 different explanations for, 5 conflicting explanations for one thing. Because that was a big problem with Pokeroll, is they ran into a lot of situations where they had all of this information, sure, but it was explained differently each time. And I want to make sure that I don't accidentally fall into that kind of trap,
Yep, and I think for, like, the time being, that, like, that latter reason, I think is, completely valid to kind of just, like, make sure it's in one spot and, like, not too spread out just so you don't have, like, one thing gets changed and the other one doesn't get changed. Now you're wondering which one's the correct version. Totally fair.
Yeah.
I think from at least my perspective, what I would slightly disagree on is I don't think things need to be, like, explained time and time again. Like, that one explanation you have up above is perfect, but, like, the shorthand,
Hang on.
if you're...
Is it just me, or is one of those ducks literally changing shape and color? Wait, is this the sponge one? No. It's fabric. I think this duck has changed what it is based on what it's bumped into. Sorry, back to what you were saying. I'm gonna look away from the ducks.
Yeah, at least from my perspective, like, we don't need to, like, have, like, a full paragraph explanation of, like, the power of a move every single time, but more of the, you know, one line here for, you know, base damage or base power is have attribute, you know, plus skill. Using, like, you know, the shorthand terminology, just so it basically takes up one line. Because, when I'm looking for, like, at least in my case here, when I'm working on the power remove, I don't want to scroll up 3 pages to the text explanation for what's my default power. If I'm forgetting it, I would intuitively look for it in the power section of the table.
Yeah,
so so at least in my mind, like, I would say, like, 2 or 3 places where, like, the shorthand is in, like, an intuitive quick reference.
Okay. I can try and work on that. It's just, like I said before, it's...
You don't want to get the things mixed up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's fair. I just think it's more as, the rules start becoming a little bit more mature and finalized, you know, having them in those places where, you know, if I have, you know, if I'm completely new to the document and, like, I just want to, like, quickly figure out, okay, well, hey, I just need to make like my own signature starting move quickly. You know, I would probably assume, well, okay, power +1, okay, I guess my power 2 move means I'm rolling 2 dice. I don't feel very powerful. And then not realizing, well, oh wait, my default power is actually, like, much higher than that.
Yeah, I definitely agree that having those would be good for the system. Having those little reminders. I keep having to stop myself from putting them in because I know personally that they would be very useful to have throughout the document. It's just like I said, I've got the reason, which we already went over that, but it's also the other thing that I keep wanting to do is put in page numbers, and it's like, right, that page number is probably not going to be valid for 2 weeks, let alone, you know, the longevity of this document.
Actually, I'm kind of wondering if there's, like, a shorthand in Google Docs that would allow you to use your heading number as a page reference.
I believe there is stuff for that. I know that was something you were looking into a while back, but because you were working on the index.
I'm gonna have to take another look at that at another time. Please send me a DM to remind me of this.
Will do. I have no idea, Raijin. But I also want to avoid things like that on this document, because this document's only really going to be valid for a relatively short time. I guess a better place that I could put this kind of stuff actually would be the appendix for the glossary and index. Because I was putting in brief definitions of various terms in there, and then I kind of spaced doing it when I add a new one. but I do still want to do that. But in there, we could have that kind of explanation as well. And that way it's, you know, it's there. People can more easily access it. It's everything in alphabetical order instead of having to figure out where in the document it is. I could probably work on that.
Yeah, and I think like when I say like 2 or 3 places, I think that one is an excellent place as well, where just like you have that brief summary, a brief explanation, you know, with like the quick like 1-line reminder of like what the default is, you're good to go. Because like everyone's gonna have like, from like an accessibility standpoint, you know, you're not gonna be able to have everyone think the same way for a reference. So one person's gonna look for like the move creation table, one person's gonna start at the beginning of the chapter, one person's gonna like look at your glossary.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also totally valid in terms of don't get things mixed up right now.
Yeah. I've seen the folly of that. I mean, I've been guilty of doing it myself in this document, in the very early stages. And so, since then, I've been very careful to avoid it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's basically my 2 cents on like the move creation from like my experience last week. I still need to actually get like my test moves all approved and stuff. They probably won't be to the same extent that I made them because I realized we have less experience to work with than I thought we did. But that is for a thing for me to review later.
I know for experience, Tal is, or at least Tal said he was going to be giving it over time some extra bonus XP. He just didn't want to give us, you know, okay guys, you got 500 XP, go have fun, and everybody's brand new to the system. He didn't want to just overwhelm them with that much stuff. Though I was expecting him to divvy that out a bit more than he has. Great idea and concept, not so well executed so far.
Well, I think in some regards we're not ready for a big power jump.
I definitely agree.
Like, you know, especially where like, you know, effectively like, you know, at our current power level, 120 XP is a fully kitted out dynamic move.
True.
And like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a very easy explanation for why Dart with absolutely no training whatsoever suddenly has a triple medium range pellet shot.
Triple medium range pellet shot?
Oh, I took the dynamic option in my testing and added the additional opponent.
Ah, very nice.
Basically, the 2 things I was messing with, like, on a hypothetical was turning pellet shot into a, like, multi-target, high damage, high crit, you know, move, and, like, repurposing the mud slap into a, you know, guaranteed hit, guaranteed kind of blind move. But no damage. At least at its base level.
Fair. Yeah, there's a lot of potential. Like, I know this system is probably going to be the most complex thing for a new player to get. But once they do get it, I think so many people are going to have a lot of fun with it. a lot more fun than if we just, you know, gave them a big list of stuff. But one thing I will say that I do have planned, which is something that I could use your help with, is coming up with a nice variety of example moves. Because I want to give them, if they don't want to actually come up with, you know, their own moves, I want them to have some options to at least build off of.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. Like, especially like I think what might actually be a really good section is like you know, example damage move creation, example status move creation, example dynamic move creation. Just so if someone's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do," like, oh, "Hey, here,
Yeah.
I'm Dart. Let me take you through the step-by-step process of how to make a move."
Oh, hey, Arzy.
Arzadeu.
Yeah, by all means. Go for it. I plan for it to be after the move trade explanation section. But go for it. I would appreciate the help on that.
Yeah, no, that's something that I can do. Because, like, I will actually say, I had a lot of fun making the move. Like, once I understood my baseline, like my base range, my base accuracy, my base damage, you know, being like, okay, I have 60 XP to spend on this move. Ooh, let me look through these tables like, ooh, that sounds fun, let me add 12 experience there for, like, the accuracy, let me add this, and it's like, okay, I have, like, 20 more XP to spend, oh, this sounds fun, or this sounds fun.
You have
like, that part actually, like, for me, at least for me, was very intuitive and was actually quite enjoyable, where it's like, okay, how can I make a move that, like, fits into my budget, essentially?
Yeah. You have no idea the size of my smile right now. I am so happy to hear you enjoyed it.
As I said, I just struggled, like, I had to ask, like, a couple different ways, okay, what's my default? Because power plus starting with 0 power means nothing if, like, if the damage is, like, if, like, that base damage of, like, the have attribute skill wasn't, like, in there first. I had to ask that multiple times to actually, like, wrap my head around it. It's like, okay, cool. At least with, like, how I lay out the move, I've actually moved away from, like, doing, like, the mind range plus 2 whatever. It's like 1d6 plus 2 damage, if that makes sense. Like, the way I approach is a little bit different, but, like, once I got past that, it was like, ooh, I have $30 and I can spend it however I want. I'm gonna get 1 chocolate ball there, and ooh, I'm gonna try that little chocolate bar, and ooh, that looks delicious. Ooh, that looks like that smells like blueberry. I'm gonna pick that. Yeah, I was a kid in a candy shop when it came to actually finally making the move creation.
And that is the goal of the system. Well, this part of the system is just to be fun and have so many fun things to play with. If you have any other ideas for things to add on for traits for moves, by all means, lay them on me. I've done my best to think up as many as I could, but...
Yeah, and I think, like, at least for me, like, the best thing right now is kind of like how the table is in the document here is it's spaced out, so at least ideally for me, if I'm, like, looking at the... Hold on, let me actually switch on over to the different table here. Oh, actually, no, that's the wrong thing. Like, you know, if I'm looking at, like, the move section on my character sheet. Okay, I see the name. The name is pretty self-explanatory. I see the type. The typing is also pretty self-explanatory. If I don't have the affinity towards it, it's going to be one of my 2 typings. And then, yeah, like, you know, you have a table for range. So all my stuff in range is there. All the power... the categories, sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting ahead of myself. You know, the category is pretty self-explanatory. Then you have your power table, you have your accuracy table, your range table, and then you have the extra tables there. So I can kind of go step by step through the different rows of the move category and pick out how I need things.
Yeah, I definitely, because like originally I had them all arranged in categories, but the categories were not the greatest. And then Tao took it and kind of just threw everything together in haphazard places. And I myself was struggling to figure out, okay, where the hell is range on this? So, I have since... I wanted to get them into nice categories.
And I will make a note down here, I'll make a note in DMs for future Seda. But I think actually the 3 examples that I might work out is... because in the starting rules, everyone's going to be starting with 5 attributes, correct? So everyone's going to be starting with that 30 cap for a move?
They start with 8 attributes total, but yes, it is 30 cap.
Okay, so what I'm envisioning is one example move that's hey, this is your first move, so let's do a basic strike. Using the 30 experience cap. Then we can make a 60 XP cap status move. And then, just keep the 60 XP cap there, but do a dynamic move as an example. Just so you know, that first example is, probably more relevant to your starting player, and then you kind of have a beginner, intermediate, advanced move creation.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Sorry, brain was taking a moment to process that. Yeah, that's kind of what would you say?
Just here I am, just giving you this long explanation, then just like squirrel, just rainbow beach ball brain for a moment, just go swirl, 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 swirl.
Yes, not too inaccurate.
Hello, RZ.
Swirl, twirl.
Hello.
Dance. Bar.
Look, I have a tendency to give very long-winded explanations.
Oh no, you've caused Whiskers to start a new canvas. Oh no.
Wait, to be fair, Sada's a scientist. It's his job. It is literal job description.
I mean, hey, I managed to turn about 8,700 words into 10,300.
Was that part of what? Part of your job description, section 4, subsection N?
Oh, no, I was working my undergrad dissertation on beached microplastics in Bermuda, and I was terribly short of the word count that I was prescribed, because I was supposed to be between 10,000 and 12,000 words, and the day before I realized that I was about 1,000 words below the word count, and I really had nothing else to say, so I just counted the captions and tables in my word count, even though I technically wasn't supposed to, and hey, I still got an A on it.
Oh my god, word count. People can't explain things in less than the required words.
But hey, they didn't check it, so like,
That's on them.
I graduated with first class honors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Rajan, I'm very much the science speak in terms of, like, you know what? Everything has to be defined. Like, oh god, actually, I remember when I was actually giving a presentation on my dissertation, like a public presentation. Like I went back home and like had like members of like the community like listen to it. I actually tossed in a very fun slide where I was like, you know what? Since we're doing a study, we have to define everything because, you know, for one person, the definition might be one word, and for another person, it might have a completely different meaning. So, like for example, I could define, my microplastic, debris as like all plastic particles littering the earth, and just use the acronym APPLES, and then talk about apples on beaches for the rest of the presentation. I've defined what apples is.
Well, that's good.
But, a big part of, like, science communication is, like, being able to break down complex terminology and be able to try to make sure that you aren't losing your audience.
Oh my god, Whiskers. He's making an animation.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Wow, okay. That is cute.
Okay, I have a new goal. I'm gonna have to message Taldarius about this. I'm gonna have to get Dart well versed on multiverse, multidimensional theory, and it's like all the terminology around like hopping dimensions, just so we can have the scene of Dart giving a complex explanation of what probably happened to him, and Squirrel just being like, hey.
Dial-up noises?
Dial-up noises.
Jeff would understand. Squirrel!
But it's the dial-up noises that as like the clip goes on, it actually starts slowly getting more drawn out. So it starts playing at like, a quarter speed. But also, before I forget, let me put that note down in there.
I just want a jingle jingle.
We need to have Azrath have a jingle jangle move that causes a distraction to the enemy.
That sounds exciting.
There is a distracted condition. That is such an adorable animation. Also, hi Beerus, hi Corbin. Okay, I gotta get back to work. I was hoping to get at least 2 or 3 sections done tonight. So, I'm gonna work on that.
Huzzah! I caught myself a vector.
Congratulations.
What
Now get the
about
rest of the
chat?
team.
Get the next rock gruff.
Oh. Alright, so I've added to power move traits. As a reminder, the power of your attack is half of the attribute plus your skill plus the power of the move. By default, moves start with 0 power.
Yeah,
This is
I think
paid.
that's good.
Okay. Coolio. Do this real quick and then format paint, or paint format, I suppose is a proper term for it. Over to this and this and this. Oh, okay. Still had the icon, so I thought I could keep going, but I have to go up and press the button every single time.
Also, may you take a quick look at the DMs just to verify that that is good?
Absolutely. That looks good, though dynamic moves can be made at the start.
Oh yeah, not my intention to, like, dissuade people from making dynamic moves, but at least in my thought process, making a dynamic move is definitely a bit more advanced than just making a bog standard move, because there's just the extra things to think about, because you're not going to necessarily, have your quick version of your move be, guaranteed to hit, and then, like, your full action's going to be, like, plus 10 dice. I remember from, like, reading the creation of dynamic moves that, like, in theory, you should be making the full move and taking stuff away, as opposed to, like, trying to, like, add something random into the quick one because you removed your full accuracy, but, decide to add extra damage in.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's something interesting to think about.
Oh, let me show you what I'm cooking, RZ.
So far, the move creation has been... It's been a little difficult to learn, but once people do get it, overall the feedback has been very positive. But I won't lie, I have been very worried about the Starlight group for a while on that. That remaining the case.
I think it's because most of us are simple. Possibly. I might be wrong.
I think it might be more that most of the Starlight group is particularly busy with their own streams and other things going on. Or...
And I'm thinking too much about... Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was not thinking about the campaign too much. Maybe? I don't know. I might be wrong. Sorry.
Maybe. But yeah, I think that's probably what the case is.
Yeah, in some regards, I figured the Like if I'm having trouble, like, you know, getting over that initial barrier of like what the move creation is, then like I think that might be something we would, at least for me, like try to ease the future process.
I like the idea, and it kind of does follow a lot of the your standard video game tutorial best practice, where sure, this thing is available from the start of the game, but we'll introduce it as later on in the game, so that way we don't throw everything at new player right at the start.
Oh, exactly. Like, at least in my process, like, you know, hey, let's get down the idea of, okay, let me understand how to make a move with accuracy and with damage. Get those skills down. Then let's add the skill of being able to add a status effect, like, you know, either poisoned, accuracy, or, you know, hey, let's maybe make it guaranteed to hit. Okay, we got that down? Cool. Well, let's open up the range of dynamic moves. Extra 10 XP, your caps now double because you have a full version of your attack you can do that will use both of your actions for that turn, or a quick version of that attack that, like, won't use up your actions, but you can still do a move. Or use that move, but, you know, at a lesser version.
Yeah. Also, I forget if I got your feedback for it. But what I suggested, what I was putting in a proposal for changing the way craft and perform work in ScarDev.
Let me see that.
And RZ, since you're here, if you could give me your thoughts on it, I would appreciate that.
Oh, go and take a look again.
Hang on. Does that... Seda?
Back to you.
Okay, you saw it.
Look out. Duck you, Zim, stop looking at the ducking ducks.
Okay, I'll get to work.
Cracks rip.
Can't believe you just got told to duck off.
But yeah, if you guys could let me know what you think of that, I would appreciate that feedback.
I shall do the best I can. Okay. I'm gonna need a couple minutes to put my thoughts into words. Comprehensible words that not just I understand.
Damn it, Whiskers. Oh my god. Yes, I do need duck blinders. Anyways, right, Seda, you,
I'm doing some extra reading.
Okay.
Because I have a suggestion for that one that might be more elegant, but I think it might also really, really mess with the current balance that you guys have worked hard for.
I'm all ears, though. Could be something that's either adapted to the balance or adjusted overall, or...
So here's my thought, because I can understand where you're coming from, where craft and perform are kind of basic. The way that I see it, if I am if I am skilled with the piano, and maybe also have a specialty in singing, just so I can, do my, my best impression of Piano Man. What if instead, because typically those things would give me bonus dice. But, having those skills or those specialties still would make me have that base underlying skill of performing. Even if I'm not on the piano or singing, I still would probably have some basic transferable performing skills. So at least in my thought process there, what if instead of the specialty necessarily giving you just a straight bonus dice, what if it instead, or at least for these particular cases, lowered the difficulty? So instead of me rolling for 7s for successes, I'm rolling for 6s. I'm incentivized to increase my my skills, because I have a general transferable skill. But if I have a specialty, it it applies and it's advantageous and it's useful.
So that was something that I was kind of pushing a while back with the required specialties sort of thing, which was kind of shot down. Like, it's not a terrible idea, but I don't think it'll quite... Because, like, perform, you have piano, singing, and dancing under it. Just for 3 random perform things. Your skill to dance... There is nothing... well, okay. The only thing that would carry over between the ability to dance and the ability to sing is being able to keep in time with music. Because they are vastly different ways of performing. Which is why I want to move to the something at least either the same or similar to my proposal that I put in ScarDev, because it doesn't make sense to me to have it that way, where they, just, okay, you've got 5 dots in perform, well, sure, you get a lower difficulty for having this specialty in perform piano, but you're still able to roll 5 dice for being able to dance when really the only thing that you've had any training in is piano. Does that make more sense?
No, I get you, because, like, at least what I'm trying to understand with your proposal here is that, you would, if I'm taking the performance for piano, I would, spend my XP normally to get up to, let's say, piano playing 3. But, if I wanted to add singing onto that, I could spend that at half XP to also get the singing up to 3.
Not quite. So you have 2 options there. The basic, just plain old perform or craft would actually be dabbler. Which would cover the basics, keeping a tune, being able to stick with the rhythm, understanding basic music scores, musical notes and such. That's what dabbler would cover. It's not enough to really do a performance on its own, but then if you want to pick up perform piano, you would have a 50% discount on it up to your level of dabbler. The alternative there is just going and buying perform piano outright. So you don't have the dabbler, but that's okay because you spent the full cost on perform piano instead.
My kind of viewpoint on that one there is, I think it probably is, at the end of the day, a gross overcomplication of the process. Like, it makes sense, like, what you're proposing there in terms of, craft and perform are quite broad. But so is marksman. Marksman's quite different for, a bow and arrow versus a rifle versus a machine gun. Academics is quite broad for, all the different sciences or even history.
So, on those, we did sit down. Like, I was talking with a couple of other storytellers and, people that, I was talking with Era and Carcerus in particular, when we were discussing this idea. And I will definitely agree that it is a bit complicated, and there are others that this could be applied to, but we don't feel like they are as necessary as perform is. Because like with science, your general science knowledge is going to carry you really far. Unlike with perform or craft. Because a lot of sciences do follow a lot of the very basic principles to them. But that's where specialties come in, for those ones, as opposed to crafting and perform. At least that was our viewpoint on it.
I kind of counterpoint to that one there, and also, like, ours, if you have anything to say, like, I don't want this to be like a back and forth conversation.
I just don't want to interrupt this thing. I'm very shy and timid about stuff like this. If I do have something to say. Yes, I do have something to say, but I don't like interrupting.
Well, why don't we...
Alright. 2 things come to mind. First, I'm definitely heavily thinking about this because right now, I don't know about any other character, Hazardous has a specialty. His one singular specialty he got from character creation. That isn't perform. So if perform was changed, this would be changed as well. Probably just swapped around into a specific area, but he specializes in tribal dancing. So if that just became a skill instead of specialization, then that means that's what's the first thing coming to mind. Second thing, well, I'm not fully versed in.
Real quick, let me just go ahead and respond to that real fast. So on that, the specialty would still be tribal dancing, because you can still have specialties. Tribal dancing is a very particular form of dancing, as opposed to dancing as a whole, which would be covered under the craft dance, or the performed dance skill. So just wanted to let you know that side of things.
Okay. So that does confirm that idea.
But go on to your second.
I'm not well versed in this, but I know others are. Pathfinder 2E. I know that lore can be simplified into many different things. For example, for the one shot I recently did, a character I have has lore astrology. And it could possibly be many different other things. This is where my limited knowledge comes to an end on that, but I think it might be something interesting to look at for ideas.
Okay, I can definitely take a look at how Pathfinder 2nd Edition handles it. My idea on this is partially inspired by, you know, D&D and Pathfinder 1st Edition.
Because on the character sheet, I don't have, like, different things. I just have one. And if that was your original plan, okay, cool. Just fits, in my opinion, but I agree with Seda as well. Just don't make it gross over complicated.
It is a concern. I don't want it to be grossly overcomplicated. So the way I saw it, we have two ways of going about it, which I think I did discuss with Colada in that channel. But there was going the proposal route with the Dabbler, which is just very generic and open-ended, which also gives us an option for, you know, like I mentioned in the channel, people that are trying to assist each other. It's harder to explain how your craft carpentry is going to help somebody smith an axe. Right. Whereas the craft dabbler covers that.
I think it could be better in, say, specialization, because otherwise, imagine the one who will dabble in everything and want very, like, all crafting skills. Become, as 14 put it, an omni-crafter of all offhand jobs, because there are like 10 of them. So, maybe one, and then specialization just good? Because as Whiskers puts it in chat, it makes it sound like just having one and then just going to specializations would be easier. That's how I see it.
That's kind of where my thoughts are too, is that, like, I feel like the specialization system itself kind of covers, I think, a lot of the intention of this kind of change. Like, I know you're focusing particularly on craft and perform here, and I think if you're going to make any changes, making those changes on the specialization side would probably be more impactful and keep things more straightforward, because at least from my perspective, if things are going to turn into, I have a craft dabbler and then, like, you know, I get into basket weaving and swords and armor and stuff to add on to those extra subcategories of craft, That's, at least for me, for my personal playstyle, a big unnecessary XP sink. Because something like crafting a basket or crafting a piece of armor, or, you know, performing a song, in theory, I could try that again and again. I'd rather spend my XP on something that's going to help me not get killed. Perception, evasion. So I at least personally would not have much interest in having different subcategories of craft to sink my XP into, because, well, I'm going to sink it into something that, you know, is going to be a bit more impactful. I think overall, like, trying to make the changes to enhance those skills more on the specialty side would probably be the better way to go to avoid overcomplicating the system. We're just going to be opening up it. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can definitely see where you're coming from. It just still doesn't feel right that having 5 dots in craft means you are, or rather, like I said earlier, the 5 dots in perform means you are equally as good at piano, at violin, at singing, at dancing, without necessarily having any training on each of those. Like, I know there are skills that translate over, but it is still a vastly different situation. Like, Raijin, like you're saying 3D versus woodwork, there is crossover there, as far as visualizing how it would turn out. However, 3D, you're typically using either a pen or a mouse for, whereas for woodwork, you've got a knife and you've got to figure out, okay, got to make sure I cut away from myself. And yeah, like Whiskers says, performing different styles within illustration can have a learning curve. Exactly. And it's just been kind of, as I've been thinking about it, it's making yeah, exactly right, Jen. It's the difference between fundamental knowledge and technical development. Which is why I was thinking going the route of different skills would probably be the best way to go about it. To show those differences between the fundamental knowledge and technical development. You know, you've got the dabbler one, which is the baseline, which is that fundamental knowledge, which then makes it easier for you to learn everything else. That said, as far as XP sync goes, I am very concerned about that, which is part of why I wanted to have the dabbler, so that way, okay, you put in skills for this, and then you get an XP discount, which will, you know, help with that XP sync. But also, definitely never forget the fact that you do have the option of storytellers giving a discount.
Just as a side question.
Mm-hmm.
The current cap on specialties is 3, right?
No.
It's current cap on specialties.
There isn't one.
Poor K.
Or rather, do you mean individual specialties or how much a bonus they give?
How much a bonus they give? Like, you know, if I take the specialty in, you know, being heckin' adorable, if to my understanding, like, it's only like 3, right?
Yeah. If you get the base specialty, that gives you +1. You master it, that gives you +2 for a total of +3. That is the cap. Yes. I thought you were meaning like how many specialties overall you could have, and I was like, no. If you want to have 50 specialties for your skills, go for it. But
I
yeah.
specialize in blep.
Specialize in
Fear
blep.
me.
Oh,
Specialize in
blep.
chomp. Specialize in ear wiggle. Specialize in wag.
Specialize in the cutest creature ever.
Fear me.
Specialty. Fear me. Blep. Yes. Typed specifically like that.
But yeah, part of me, and like this is like me just jumping completely off the original target, but part of me almost feels like, you know, what you're proposing would almost make sense in terms of changing specialties slightly to be capped at your current skill level. So if I have a craft of 1, I can only get blacksmithing level 1, but as soon as I get craft 2, I can actually then upgrade my specialty in blacksmithing to level 2 as well at a discount. So maybe the discount for upgrading this actually backtrack. Maybe I can upgrade the blacksmithing level 5 at the regular XP curve, but if I have craft, you know, 3, I get the discount that you're proposing to upgrade the specialty to level 3. So you kind of keep that like idea of you can specialize in a couple things, you get a discount for having the basic skill level, but it's in the specialties there. So it's not necessarily like... So you can kind of actually maybe expand upon that, so it's every specialty. And provides incentive to still level up your base skill, but also give specialty something a little bit of love.
Well, when it comes to... Hello there, Husky Boy. We've got a lot going on here. So in the bottom left is Wicked Whiskers doing art. Up above me is I'm working on our Scar tabletop RPG system for playing as Pokemon, Digimon, etc. And then in the upper left is mostly something for you guys to look at, because it's fun to watch the ducks just float around. So, you know. That's what's going on. ADHD stream.
I have something to add. Because how I see it, it comes to the question of, if you're going to go the route you suggested, the same thing we've repeated of EXP sync, and my personal question, is this how the system was meant to be used? Do you want to spend time in the campaign time, you know, something that gathers once a week, spent to off away from stuff like preparing for the next battle and such? Sure, at Starlight we're downtime, but we're slowly doing stuff that maybe that part's wrong, but you're gonna have two fronts, because it all depends on how the campaign is. So you might not have enough time to build the character however you want if your storyteller is not good enough. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just spouting words that I think are right to say.
I'm not sure I'm following what you're trying to ask here.
I think, Arzib, I'm actually following along with what you're saying. You know, when the most common cycle of, you know, any tabletop RPG is you have a little bit of downtime that's probably shopping, some training, and such, and then you go into an encounter that's typically combat orientated with maybe a little bit of exploration. Things like crafting and perform are not things that we touch on too often, so why are we going to be spending a lot of our time trying to account for all the differentiations for performing and crafting when this isn't a musical?
Yes.
So the separation of these various skills out on the skills, making separate sub-skills for each of these creative and practical outlets feels a little bit redundant when how often are they going to come up?
Well, as far as that goes, it does depend on the storyteller. I know with Kerr's games, never. He does not let us have downtime for anything. However, on the front of, like, Starlight, Taldarius very much has been giving us plenty of opportunities for things that we want to go into for crafting and such. Like, look at Dargus and how many, he has had quite a few opportunities for advancing his crafting skill. And that is something that Aurum wants to really get into with Argus. On the flip side there, or another example is Squirrel. Squirrel has spent a lot of time crafting in the campaign so far, Raijin. Some of it has been, time just kind of hand-waved away as, yeah, he's off doing this. But there has been a lot of time that Squirrel has dedicated to crafting. Because that's what he wants to do. And it's like, when I'm considering this, I am considering myself on this as well, because it's like, yeah, this is going to impact me. I'm going to have to revamp how I'm spending my XP.
May I interrupt with kind of a bit of a foil question?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to, for the crafting, separate it out in terms of having a generalized crafting dabbler and then have a crafting smithing, a crafting, armor, crafting clothing, etc. Does that make the specialties redundant? The specialties are also giving, effectively, bonus dice. Having the skill in, smithing gives you, dice to roll. What's the purpose of me taking a specialty in smithing if I'm still going to have to do a smithing craft skill?
So specialties are meant to be more specific things under the other ones. Like I said earlier with Azareth's specialty for tribal dancing. That would be under the overarching perform dance, but it would still be its own specialty by itself. And either way, we have made specialties more generalized. You do have to have an explanation on how, but like Arzee's tribal dancing specialty, if he were to make a move that's based on dancing to distract enemies, for example, he could put forth the argument to Taldarius that that specialty should apply to the move as well. And I personally, as a storyteller, would say, yeah, your move is literally about dancing. You've got a specialty for tribal dancing. Sure, it's underperformed, but the skill the specialty is tied to is more to help define how it's tied to that. Like, what kind of skill or what kind of specialty it is. But yeah, I don't think it would have that much of an impact on them being actually special and useful.
Also, just as a complete side note, RZ, have you seen like that one Pokemon Mystery Dungeon like remix GIF where you just have like the Eevee and the Riolu breakdancing in front of Dialga and Dialga's paralyzed?
Oh, absolutely. I saw that today, as a matter of fact, but we don't talk about that. Yes, it's absolutely fucking great.
I'm just imagining just Azrath just like doing like the legs out, you know, kick break dancing, then just like jumping into a spin on the head crest.
I thought I had the exact same idea.
You're welcome. But yeah, no, Zim, I will definitely like sleep on this and give it a think over, because I do have concerns that it's an unnecessary, you know, spreading out details. Like don't get me wrong, I can see the approach in terms of having the essentially, you know, more specialized skill that, you know, as opposed to adding 20 new skills, you kind of are adding it on a case-by-case basis. But I worry about the precedent in a sense, because as someone in the sciences, biology, you know, there is the basic scientific principles, but biology, physics, chemistry, you know, while interconnected in a lot of ways, are vastly different.
Science, in particular, is one that I have been debating doing the same thing to. Because I agree with you that it feels like one that should also get this kind of treatment. Academics, that is more your ability to research something rather than, you know, it being a science in and of itself, so I don't think it needs that treatment. Lore, I think it's okay being by itself. It doesn't need that treatment either. But science is one that I feel could use it. And I am partially pulling, like I said before, from D&D and Pathfinder because, well, they've got this same setup. Well, not 5th edition, but 5th edition just got rid of crafting altogether. But Pathfinder, you know, when you put points into craft, there is no general craft. It is craft blacksmith, craft carpentry, craft bookbinding, etc., etc. And it's like... I don't want to make an XP sync, especially for something like craft, science, and perform. But specialties don't feel like the way to go. They don't feel the right path to go. But trying to figure out the right path is difficult, to put it lightly.
Yeah, and my logic there is that the specialty, like, I feel like tweaking the specialties themselves might be the better path, because if we are opening up, you know, some of these skills to be bogged down with extra rules, where it's like, okay, well, hey, you could put your point in, you know, marksman, but now you have to put marksman archery, marksman rifles, marksman shotguns, marksman throwing knives. Please let me finish.
Go for it, sorry.
I feel like it's losing a bit of sight on the fact that this is a tabletop game, not a simulation. We're spending 3 to 6 hours in a session where, you know, a musical event, a crafting experience might be 20 minutes or 40 minutes, depending upon like the highlight of it, of that session. Like, I don't think Argus is going to be crafting every single session, and I think it might be advisable to, you know, take the loss of detail and better, I guess, like, simulation, and embrace the simplicity just for not having to write an entirely new rule case for certain sub-skills, and then deciding, well, hey, if we did this for this skill, we probably need to also look at this sub-skill. And make a whole bunch of sub-skills for that. I think if you want to have that detail, I think that's the entire purpose of the specialties, where, I have a specialty in blacksmithing. I get bonus dice for that. So if you want to address that problem of things being too generic, look at the specialties, not try to add more extra rules to the skills.
Alright.
Yeah, that's my skill.
Okay.
I kind of want to just encompass all that.
Okay. I try to break things up because sometimes I lose track of things along the way, so that was kind of why
I will think this up and write it up, but I lose my train of thought, and I don't want to be derailed.
Fair. So, first off with Marksman. That is going to be handled by feats. We don't have the specifics on that yet, but we do know that we're going to be handling different types of weapons. Having the ability to use them properly and such will be handled through feats. What?
Have we ever really delved into feats before in the system?
There are the beginning of rules for them. I do have a document linked from the main document of the feat proposal. Also, Raijin, I'll get to your stuff in a moment, sorry. But yes, feats have been planned for a long time. We just haven't... We've been working on other things aside from that particular fluff.
And I will just end this note here because I should have gone to bed like an hour ago. I would probably encourage whatever is the decision, it needs to be uniform, because the idea of having your crafting skill be broken into sub skills, but then the same idea of enforcing specialties for weapons is carried under feats, makes the understanding the rules quite confusing. So I would probably say if you go down the route of encompassing this idea of specialization with the specialties, do it all with specialties. Or if you're going to do it with feats, do it all with feats. Or if you're going to do it all with the sub-skills, do it all with sub-skills. Don't make the piecemeal rule where this skill is broken down to sub-skills, but the specialties for this skill is broken up into feats. But if you want to do something more for this skill, get a specialty for it. That's going to confuse the system and make it much harder to pick up. So whatever you do decide, pick one route.
I do want to say, my plan originally was to do this with specialties. But the last time that you and I talked about specialties, you got vehemently angry over them. Even existing. And so that's part of why I've been avoiding relying on specialties for much. Yes, Raijin.
Oh yeah, my particular gripe with specialties was just how, at least in their original conception, how very wishy-washy there were. I could make a specialty in, quantum physics. That specialty is in theory costs me the same amount of experience, or at least storytelling RP, than evasion. Or, what's Squirrel's specialties again?
He's got a specialty for ADHD that's tied to evasion. He also has specialties for locksmithing, blacksmithing, and I think there was one more.
What's the first? ADHD on evasion? I would have never thought of that.
Not this one. Yeah, I talked with the storyteller, and it's like, I made my case, he approved, and yeah, Squirrel's got a specialty. That was his starting specialty. It's kind of hard to hit him if even he doesn't know where he's gonna be at that moment.
And my stance is like, I think it is bloody ridiculous. That is not a specialty. If I was the storyteller, I'd be like, come up with something different, please. But you know what? I'm not the storyteller. I'm not the player. So like, it's a thing. Yeah, I think it's rather silly. But
it's absolutely silly.
Yeah, like my kind of general stance on the specialties when they were originally conceived was that, like, if I have a specialty in, you know, chemistry, you know, its most applicable skill would be science, but I could also apply that to lore, you know, to recall things about, you know, maybe past, you know, chemical, you know, experiments. Could help that with my academics. I could maybe even use that as a etiquette to converse with a fellow chemist, or, you know, use my knowledge of science to be able to persuade someone to maybe add something to a chemical, because, you know, smart people can be persuasive if it's explained correctly. I felt like, in some regards, you know, kneecapping the specialties just to a single skill took a lot of the potential out of them. But I know the ultimate ruling on that was that you wanted to minimize the potential arguments between a storyteller and the player. If I want to say, yeah, I want to totally use my chemistry skill for Brawl because I have a beaker in my hand, and then the storyteller shuts that down, and then an argument ensues because, you know, hey, me smacking a beaker upon someone's head would be quite funny.
Okay.
But that is recapping long since settled things. So
yeah.
Since, like, you know, specialties in this regard are, you know, essentially in their own rights specializations for a skill, I see, you know, I fail to see the purpose of adding, you know, a general, essentially, skill cap for, like, a dabbler, or essentially making these own sub-skills when the specialties also exist. It kind of feels like they're tackling the same problem, at least from my viewpoint. They're giving you bonuses and better representing your ability in a certain area where you have general skills, but then the specialized skills.
Well, what we could do is keep the concept of the dabbler there, but require the specialty for actually dictating, like, what you have actual skill to craft. Like, you've got 5 dots in craft, but it's considered basically the same as the dabbler proposal, but you can't really use your craft skill to craft, I don't know, a chest, unless you've got the specialty for carpentry. That would achieve what I am kind of wanting to achieve with it. You know, my whole issue with where it's at right now, that would solve that and put the specialties to use in that regard. How does that proposal sound to you?
could potentially see it working, because like I feel like a lot of that would kind of come down to the storyteller and deciding, well, hey, yeah, you can do a craft skill for this one, or actually, no, hey, I'm not going to allow you to take this craft skill because you don't have the blacksmithing specialty. Like, I feel like, yeah, that could work, because it would be a storyteller to storyteller, you know, decision on, yeah, I think your general crafting skill is applicable here, or you need to have your blacksmithing ability.
Okay. Because that was something that I proposed before, and you were very much against it, and so I'm like, okay, we will avoid even bringing this possibility up again. But that was kind of the way I wanted to go with it in the first place.
Or, I mean, my biggest proponent was flexibility and, you know, giving the storyteller discretion, which is why I was like, why limit the specialties to one skill when, like, the specialties could be applied to so many skills?
That... I don't know how feats are, but if you can apply something to multiple skills, it might sound like a feat. Maybe I'm just blurbing aloud. And also, people do change on their thoughts.
Like, I don't have a written dialogue thing to refer back to from how I felt on this, but I generally recall that my biggest proponent was, I would love to see specialties be open, be not skill locked, and open to all the other skills, because at least from the groundwork of Scar, it's a creative solution. I personally feel like I should be able to use my specialty in, you know, chemistry, to maybe persuade someone about you know, a river contamination, or you know, a particular medicinal herb. And if the storyteller says, actually, no, I don't think it applies here, okay, cool. I'll just roll my regular persuasion. That's, if I recall correctly, that was basically the crux of my argument. But, I'm also rambling at this point because it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, go ahead and go to sleep. I think we've got an idea. I'll go ahead and put it towards the others to see what they think on this front.
Oh, you should also respond to Raijin's comments.
Yes. Yes.
Alright, sleep well, Seda.
Thank you, and I also potentially contemplate the complete upending of the specialty system, because my brain also really likes the idea of lowering the difficulty.
That's actually part of it as is. Or at least that's how we've been treating it. I'll have to double check to make sure that the wording's actually there, but that is actually part of it as is.
Yeah, my quick glancing, I was only seeing bonus dice rolls, but if it lowers the degree of success from like 7s to 6s and 5s, then fine.
Yeah, that's up to the storyteller to decide. By default, it is just a +1. But the storyteller can decide to do more with it if they feel it's particularly applicable.
Yeah, you beans have a good night.
Good night.
Real cute.
Let's see. I'm not really discounting that, Raijin. It's just something that is hard to quantify into a system. It's one of those things of trying to figure out the best way to put that into the system. Applicable technique is something to consider. As it is right now with the system, you have 5 dots in craft or perform, you are just as good at drawing as you are at building a house. Equally as good. No difference whatsoever. Which is part of why I had the problem there. It's like for example, the Saturday game, the Starlight. Argus has very much been going towards the carpentry route with things. And Jet has been dabbling into craft for drawing. However, technically by the rules right now, Jet is just as good as at building a house as Argus is at drawing. Well, that was kind of my idea with the Dabbler Whiskers, was putting in the Dabbler is that foundation. And the Dabbler version would allow you to learn carpentry at a discount. It would allow you to learn drawing at a discount. And then, like, if you talk with your storyteller, I personally, as a storyteller, if somebody had, craft drawing at 3, they had craft dabbler at 3, and they wanted to add painting onto it, because painting is different from just basic drawing, I would personally have given a discount. Though, I'd probably also say just take a specialty for painting, but, either way. But that's kind of, it's kind of... I'm trying to think of the best way to put that into the system, though. Because craft, as it is, you've got potion making, you've got... There's potion making, building a house, drawing, blacksmith, so many different skills, broader skills. Which is what I was planning for it, is you're not going to get really fine-tuned with crafting down to, yes, you are specifically good at building a house. No, you'd probably have carpentry. I know I keep saying building a house, but that's what I was thinking would be, it would be craft carpentry, and then that in turn gives you ability to build, to make a sled out of wood. Gives you the ability to set up the frame of a house, etc., etc.
I want to point something out, though. If you make it all sub-skills, it makes it sound like, sub-leveling systems. Which reminds me of MMO style, which is, I don't think something people want.
Well, it was also pulling from Pathfinder and older versions of D&D.
4E?
I don't know 4E.
4E is MMO and no one talks about that.
Yeah, I've never really looked at the books at all for 4E. I just know, I took a glance at one in a bookstore at one point. I went up to the shelf with them and was like, why are there 5 different versions of the player's handbook here? And I cracked it open and saw, okay, we've got 3 races in this, 3 classes in this. Open the next one, 3 more races and classes. Open the next one, 3 more races and classes. This was years and years and years ago. But that is what I remember of my experience with 4E. After seeing that, I closed them up, put it back on the shelf, and walked out.
Apparently Beer says that Rowdy is the expert on 4E. And
I know
That's the
Toshime
case.
plays 4E as well, but...
I highly suggest getting information from them, so that
Well-
way you don't follow the faults of 4E.
I'm... Either way, when it comes to 4E, it is not influencing my decisions about the system at all. Because I don't know it. So it's kind of hard to bring any inspiration from it if I don't know anything about it. I do recall that they were very particular about making different, the different roles from tabletop, or from MMOs. Like you had your tanks, your DPS, your healer, and different monsters would fill those different roles and stuff. At least that's what I heard. But either way, that's beside the point. My inspiration for separate crafting skills is 3.5. Where they had... Well, you put ranks into one craft and that's it. You're not splitting them up at all.
And I just say make a specialty repeat about it.
Well, I'm okay with going the route to specialties. I wanted to in the first place. But, like I said, Seda got very angry over specialties.
I don't think he fully understood it the way you did then. After all, people
Probably
do
not.
change.
Probably not, or, you know, things have changed. Either way, that is why I shied away from going with specialties on this.
I think the next thing to do would be to ask people about this. Because, you know, you may be one person, but what if no one likes it?
Well, that's why I put that post in the Scar Dev in the first place. I was asking people.
You're right, and I don't respond to it. I read it, don't respond because typically I'm at work that time. And then I forget about it. I get distracted a lot. Very easily.
I can only do so much with what with the, you know... I can only do so much for development and getting people's feedback. If people aren't giving me the feedback, I can't exactly just hook up a machine and extract their opinion from them. But either way, I've gotten your guys' opinion now. And like, I was asking for opinions even in the tabletop games. I was asking them to post them, but... like, Colada had a little bit of an issue with it, but then I explained it, and Colada seems to like it. I know Enja, one of our storytellers, likes it. Raharu likes it. There's a lot of people that were liking this idea. And I'm still gonna put it up to, you know, people giving feedback. Seda, I will agree with you on that, but as you saw during my during our conversation tonight, where I started going off on subject B when I hadn't even finished my thought on subject A, that's me having ADHD. When dealing with ADHD, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. I know it can be frustrating that I haven't finished adding feats, that I haven't finished writing out the moves. I know it can be frustrating for people, but I'm doing the best I can with the disability. It's go with the flow of what it's letting me work on at the moment. That's the way I have to go about it. If that makes sense. I'm not the greatest at explaining this. I'm sure Rygon could do a much better job explaining it than I can, but... Well, I know he could. I mean, that's literally his job, but, you know. I know it's frustrating, though. I'm doing the best I can with the disability I have to get this done. It's just going to mean I bounce around a bit. Sometimes a lot. Changes from day to day. Though, that all said, I think I am at a point where I am going to call it for this stream. And Raijin, I would love to hear those ideas. I would love to hear your ideas. Definitely throw them into the Scar suggestions and or the feedback or just my DMs, whichever. Best place for me because, you know, that way I can keep track of them. But try to get them to me sooner rather than later because I do want to put out a survey for this. And also part of why I am... Again, I'm jumping subjects. But part of why I'm, you know, working on this is something that requires that feedback. And getting feedback takes time. Like, the most work I've done on it since I posted that almost a week ago was just being like, hey, can I get you to let me know your feedback on this? Otherwise, I've just been sitting here waiting for feedback and continuing work on the feeds. Yeah, we can do a call, Raijin. Go ahead and hop in the call. Let me go ahead and wrap up stream, though. Because, you know, I'm almost an hour past my normal end time anyways. So let me go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Thank you everybody for joining us today for this DevTales stream. As well as the art, Marten, and the, you know, ADHD and ducks and stuff. Anyways, check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. And they are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, grabbing some art from Whiskers or one of the other artists that I manage for, or you can also help out by grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store. The merch especially does help with the development of our SCAR system because those purchases are going to help us get art and such to actually flesh out the book more properly. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.